What's up, guys? Wanted to show you how to change the drive belt on this Cub Cadet LT1045. Now you got to come under here, and there is and I did watch other videos, and the way they're doing it, I do not like it. Now this here is your PTO clutch assembly, goes onto the shaft in the motor, and you have to break this loose here. Well, that's really torqued on there, and all you'll do is turn the motor like they said. So if you remove the plastic shroud, if you look over here, you got your starter, you got your gear for your starter, and then you have your gear here. Well, if you take note, there's a hole here, and then there's one back here. Now one is a little deeper than the other. You can see that doesn't go in very far. But on this one here, it goes in a good bit. So if you take a piece, I think this is 3/8 stock, and I took a jack handle and I slipped it over this bar. Now you got your coil right here. Now you got to be careful because this is aluminum. You're gonna bump this right like that. All you're doing is putting pressure to hold that motor, to hold this here from turning. So you're gonna have to have two people hold that and then turn that bolt. That'll break it loose. Over here you have your PTO wire, and then that's the other end. You got to disconnect that. And then you're gonna feed it down through the hole here. Okay, I want to tell you guys right now, this PTO hasn't been off for a long time. All I did is take a crowbar and I hit the bottom of the pulley a bunch of times. Now I did soak the top up here with WD-40. You could use PB brake blaster or whatever, and then hit this. Now what I've been doing, I just been tapping the top part of this pulley just ever so lightly, and it's starting to come loose. So yours is probably going to be frozen. You can see it's kind of loosened up, and there you go. Now there's a washer here that sits on top right there. Make sure you put that back up there. Now there's your shaft, and there's a keyway right in the other side. It's actually facing it's facing towards the motor. So inside here you could see that keyway. Well, that keyway is up there over here. The other important thing is to note, you got a slot right here, this part that gets shoved up, that goes right around this bracket to stop this thing from spinning back and forth. Okay guys, the only way to really get out this, you see these tabs there. Now a lot of people bend them. I'm not fond on that. That's a belt guide, and you fatigue metal, sooner or later it's gonna crack. You got 4 bolts holding the motor down. You got one, if you turn the wheels to the left and right there is a slot. You can stick a socket through there. If you turn them all the way to the left, that is, you could get at that bolt. The front bolt is right there. Now I'm hoping all I have to do is jack the motor up and not take the bolts all the way out, but there is a bolt there, and then there is one if you turn the wheels all the way to the right, There's another one there. You gotta loosen that up, lift the motor up, and you're gonna have to pull the pulley out. Or you're gonna have to pull the belt out of that pulley and then cinch those bolts back down. Okay, so unfortunately it didn't work out loosening the bolts. You have to take all 4 out. Now if you come down here and you look, you can see that belt is right there. And all I did is I used the crowbar and I jacked the motor up and I put some screwdrivers in there just to brace it. And then you're gonna have to try and get this belt off all the way around, and that's gonna take some finessing. And then I jacked one, or I'll put 2 of them up after I got the crowbar and lifted that up, and you could see the pulley there. Well, I was able to use a screwdriver and pull that off. And then what you gotta do after you fish it out from there, you fish it under there, fish it through all these pulleys, and then in the very, very back you could see there's a fan there, and right under that fan there is a pulley, and you have to be careful when you feed the new belt and the old belt on and off. And you just reverse the procedure that you did. The other thing I can't emphasize enough, the holes right here at the motor bolts go through. Make sure you use a drift pin or a screwdriver or something, but be very careful because the block is made of aluminum and you do not want to cross thread your block or the threads in your block because you're gonna ruin your motor. And as you can see here, somebody already broke 2 shroud bolts off. You know, the people get in here and they start doing shit that they don't know what they're doing, and things don't come off, and they hurry up and bust them. So make sure you take your time and do this, and do it the right way, not the way all these other guys are doing it, because you're gonna break your fucking lawnmower. And see right here, that came off. I just noticed that. So two grand for one of these things, it's a lot of money. Take your time.